History. History. History.
Was that Will Smith?
What's up, it's Cinnamon Shogun here, and I hate to have to say I told you so, but I'll be honest. I saw this one coming from a freaking mile away, and that is that Dave Chappelle got attacked last night, literally tackled on stage in the middle of one of his stand-up shows. And you know what? I told you so. I told you all that this would happen. When Will Smith slapped Chris Rock at the Oscars, I tried to hammer home the point that slap would have a negative impact on our society. That slap would have a negative impact on comedy. That slap would have a negative impact on how live shows work going forward. And here it is. I knew from the moment that Will Smith slapped Chris Rock at the Oscars that Dave Chappelle was next. That someone was going to target Dave Chappelle because they've been trying to silence Dave Chappelle for so long. Comedy has been under attack for years. These woke, PC, garbage people out in society have been trying to silence comedians for years. They've been trying to silence normal people. They try to silence me every day. Some of you all have been silenced by these people. These people cannot stand the freedom of speech. They cannot stand comedy, and they definitely can't stand being the butt of a joke. So I knew that someone was going to be emboldened by this Will Smith slap, and they were going to attack some comedians. And I knew Dave Chappelle would be number one on that list. Now, when I made those points a couple of weeks ago after the slap, a lot of people claimed that I was overreacting. A lot of people said, Will Smith's slap isn't going to cause other people to slap people on stage. Oh, just because Will Smith did this, you think that the world was just waiting for something like this to happen before they go attack people on stage? Do you think Will Smith not slapping someone was the only thing that was stopping other people from attacking people on stage? Well, yes. In fact, I do. In fact, like I've been trying to say, we live in a monkey see, monkey do society. A lot of people don't even fathom doing things until they see someone else do it. And once people see someone else do something, they feel the need to have to do it as well. And I know, listen, I know to a perfectly sane, rational mind, sometimes it's hard to put yourself in a mental space where you could really understand that people will do stupid things like this. You know, sometimes it's hard to fathom how stupid and idiotic people can be. But you know what? I always try to take myself out of my mind and put myself in other people's mind in a way. You know what I'm saying? Because I realize that we are surrounded by a bunch of idiots. Honestly. The world has a bunch of idiots, and they're all chomping at the bit, waiting for things like Will Smith slapping Chris Rock so they can feel emboldened, so they can feel empowered to do things like this as well. This is not a coincidence that ever since Will Smith slapped Chris Rock, that comedians are getting attacked left and right. People are getting attacked on stage left and right. It's happening at an alarming rate now. And I mean, like I said, I saw it coming from a mile away. And I hate to say that I told you so, but I told you so. So all of you out there who are all being all saying the most, I hope you all realize the point that I was trying to make now. This is the point that I was trying to make. That we as a society, we are literally hanging on by a thread. By a small little thread, or shall I say multiple small little threads. And when one of those threads pop, you best believe there's a certain portion of our society that's just going to absolutely lose their minds. And that's what we're starting to see here. So I expect to see this happening a lot more going forward. Now, this didn't end well for the person who tried to attack Dave Chappelle. I can tell you that. It went rather bad for them. He got messed up big time, but I hope that Dave Chappelle hires more security going forward because it's just going to keep happening, people. This is going to keep happening time and time again. And yes, we're going to be able to mark it on our calendars. You're going to be able to look back in the history books and see where it began. It began with the Oscar slap, And who knows how much it will escalate in the years and days and months going forward. Honestly, it's going to end up with someone getting killed on stage. Let's just be honest. Our society is that crazy that that's how this thing is going to end up. And it all started with an Oscar slap. And yes, I do believe fully that it all started with this Oscar slap and emboldened these people. And like I was just saying, I know to the average person, to the average sane person, you hear that, you're like, what? Like, that sounds crazy. That's stupid. And you try to dismiss it. But that's because you're not putting yourself in that mind state. You're not thinking or trying to attempt to think like other people. And I'm not saying that you should even attempt to think like them, but I'm just saying, like, take yourself out of your mind for a moment and realize that we're surrounded by a bunch of irrational people. There's a bunch of irrational people out there. People who are mentally not all the way there. People who are mentally hanging on by a thread, like I just said. And when that thread pops, they pop and they do crazy things. So with that being said, if you want to see every angle of this and how it went down and some of the jokes that Dave Chappelle cracked afterwards, then go over to my other channel, Fat and Opinionated. Go subscribe and go check out that video. I have all the angles and all the footage, but I wish I could say I was surprised, but it's like I woke up and I read the news and I was just like, oh. I almost didn't even make a video about it because it just seemed like I don't want to say natural, but it just didn't surprise me. It was almost like, oh, okay, and just scroll right past it. Even though it's a big news story, it's just like, because I've mentally prepared myself for this already, I guess, I'm mentally prepared for how things are going in this country. And the attacks on free speech aren't going to stop. The attacks on comedy aren't going to stop. It's only going to get worse unless we come together and start voicing it. Start voicing our opinions. Start defending comedy. Start defending free speech. That's what I want to do on this channel every chance that I get. But I want to know your thoughts about this down in the comments below. I'll leave you all with a clip so you can see, get a little glimpse of what actually happened. But if you want to see the full details of what happened, go subscribe to my other channel. But I want to know your thoughts down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you on the next video.